Get off my property, I swear to fucking God. I'm so sick of this. There's no one here. There's no human here. I've looked around. I'm so fucking sick of this. I don't know where it's coming from. It's fucking demonic. I'm so sick of this. Look, there's no one here. There's no public here. There's no one here. There's no one that could park there. That's not them. I just missed. You should have heard what I fucking heard. It is the sound of literally like blue, like fucking demonic. And I'm so fucking sick of it. I'm so tired of it.
One new document from the Vatican has updated the guidelines for Marian apparitions and other possible supernatural phenomena. EWTN Vatican Bureau Chief Andreas Tannhauser has more.
After 50 years, the Vatican has revisited their norms for Marian apparitions. A new document provides updated guidelines for discerning apparitions and other allegedly supernatural phenomena. The prefect of the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith, Cardinal Victor Manuel Fernandez, presented this document at the news conference in the Holy See's press office. The last time the Vatican's doctrinal office issued norms for evaluating alleged supernatural events was shortly before the death of Pope St. Paul VI in 1978. In the old document, the initial evaluation of alleged apparitions, weeping statues, or supposed messages from God, Mary, or the saints was entrusted to the local bishop. With the new norms, the local bishops will still play a role, but they also say that the judgment of the bishop is to be submitted to Rome for approval. The new document encourages diocesan bishops to set up an investigative commission if evidence of a supernatural phenomenon seems sufficient. The dicastery then has to be involved. A second novelty introduced by the document relates to the judgment reached by the Church with 6 categories of discernment. The most favorable is the nihil obstat, which is Latin for no objections, no obstacles. It does not mean that phenomena are of supernatural origin. Instead, the local bishop can note the fruits of the apparition and also promote its spread. And this is really new. In the future, the supernatural nature of any event can only be confirmed as an exception, and only by the Pope himself. Cardinal Fernandez also stressed in the press conference that the faithful are never forced to believe in a certain phenomenon. The Church leaves the faithful free to devote their attention to this phenomenon or not. The Cardinal said that the revelation that has already happened is the Word of God. It contains everything we need for a Christian life. The norms do not mention any cases by name, but respond to the development of modern means of communication like social media, and that some cases of alleged apparitions have been detrimental to the faithful. The new norms are intended to provide more transparency and what Cardinal Fernandez calls greater prudence in the process. This is meant to avoid confusing the faithful. According to the document, there were quite a few alleged apparitions in the last century, creating confusion surrounding their authenticity. In fact, there have been several cases where a local bishop rapidly declared an event as supernatural, only for the Vatican to express a different decision later. In other cases, a bishop has said one thing and his successor the opposite about the same phenomenon. Pope Francis has also been careful in the past when asked about apparitions and called for more prudence in discerning their authenticity. Because of modern mass media, local events can quickly assume a global character. A decision made in one diocese has consequences elsewhere. Cardinal Fernandez further warned that in some cases, serious issues that harm the faithful may arise. In some particular cases, profit, power, fame, social recognition, or other personal interests have derived from alleged phenomena.
First of all praises to the Father Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakadash. Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers and sisters in recognition to observing this day for worshiping the Most High. Sundown this evening to sundown tomorrow evening, my people. Let's get some rest, worship, and praises in to the Most High, because this is a commandment throughout all our dwellings. Even though we are in our captivity, we should still be worshiping and praising the Most High, and also, resting as the Sabbath is commanded us to do. Now, in short, what that man just said is basically the Vatican is warning us of supernatural entities and apparitions that's going to start appearing on the earth, like in Luke chapter 21 verse 26. Basically, I'm paraphrasing that there are things that's coming up on the earth that when man look up on, his heart is going to faint. Very frightening looking creatures, okay? And that's basically what it all boils down to. As you saw in the video that was prior to the video with, the Pope, during this press conference, you heard a young lady screaming about hearing voices, and there's nobody out there, okay? See, the thing is, just like with this picture that I took probably about 2 or 3 years ago, one night I was getting off work and I saw this face right here in the tree, just peering out. These spirits has always been here, okay? Some of them are angels, some of them are demons that actually was killed in the flood many years ago, or however way they were killed, This is the reason why I've always tried to accustom you guys to these things right here, because, well, what we're seeing, what's going to come up on the earth, they're going to be even more prevalent than just being in the air, or in the trees or wherever, they appear. But the main entity that we're supposed to be worried about, in a sense, and that's the devil himself actually coming back, you understand, and what have you, So without further ado, let's get into the scriptures. Let's keep our mind on what we are really to be worried about. And let me see here. Let's get this thing right. I don't know how I did this. Let me see now. Okay. Now, here we go. Here's what we are actually have to keep our minds on. We're going to start here in Revelation chapter 12 verse 7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Okay? Now, here it is. Revelation chapter 12 verse 4. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And that man-child is actually Yahushua himself. To continue, and her child was caught up unto Yahweh, and to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of Yahweh, that they should feed her there 1,000 to 260 days. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. Now this is talking about the devil himself. He's cast down. And when he's cast down, this is when we're going to start seeing even more of these frightening apparitions and supernatural occurrences. Okay? We have Revelation chapter 12 verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Okay? This is what it is. This is what we got to keep our minds on. And this is the reason why we need to repent. This is the reason why we need to get in the good graces of the Most High. In the name of Yahushua. That means by Hashem Yahushua. You understand? Because you are not going to be delivered or saved without him. And that's what it is. You will be devoured by this devil right here. See? So we already read this part right here, you know, and what he come to do basically. But he says, and here in verse 13, Revelations 12, verse 13, and when the dragon saw that he was cast on the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and half a time for the face of the serpent. From the face of the serpent, excuse me, people. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. That flood is a flood of lies. Okay, that's what that all boils down to. Here in Luke, verse 10, verse 18, the Hamashiach says here, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Why is he transformed himself into an angel of light? Because he wants us to lower our guard and to think of him being somebody he's not. And that's the Hamashiach himself. Okay? 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. Well, we're going to start here, verse 11 to the 14. Wherefore, question, because I love you not, question. God knoweth. But what I do, that I will do, that I may cut off occasion from them which desire occasion, that wherein they glory, they may be found even as we. For such are false prophets, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ, which is the Hamashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. See, all of this stuff is coming out of the Vatican. These are false prophets. You understand what I'm saying? Remember, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, so you know who's in control. Okay? Now, to go over here in Revelations chapter 16, verse 15, and it reads, Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watches and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. Okay? To start here in Revelation 16:12, and the 6th angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon. Okay? These unclean spirits are lies. You understand? There's a bunch of lies, you know, that is going on. And the river Euphrates, by the way, is drawn up. Now, to continue, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, for they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them together, gather them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty, Yahweh Almighty. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keep his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. Okay? Now, this is leading up basically to the battle of Armageddon. It says here in verse 16, and he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. We haven't got to that part yet, people, but it's coming, But here's what I was talking about here in verse 14. For they are the spirits of devils. Okay? That's what these frogs that came out of the dragon's mouth, and these spirits of devils, all they do is they lie. You understand? And they are at the woman that the dragon chased into the wilderness. That woman is said to be the Hebrew tribes. Okay? That's what that is. Things are getting real deep into the Most High's word here in Revelations, because this is what we're living in to this day. This is the reason why we're going to start seeing even more so, the Bible fulfill itself. Okay? So over here in Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 14. So here's what we need to do. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. Okay? Let's start here in Ephesians 6:11. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world. Okay? Against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh. Okay? This is what we need to do to deal with the devil and his demons is coming with him. Basically, the devil and his angels, they are demons, and that's basically what it boils down to. Because it's all going downhill from here for him and everybody that follows him. That's what it all boils down to. Now, in 1 John chapter 4, verse 1, this is what we also need to do, people. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit whether they are of Yahweh, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Okay? This is just simply saying this. When the devil shows himself to be sitting or standing where he ought not be, saying he is who he's not, you're going to have these false prophets saying that Christ is here. You understand? He's here, but he's not. So we have to test every spirit. Now it says here, verse 1 of 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Okay? What we just read. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of Yahweh, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Hereby know ye the spirit of Yahweh. Every spirit that confesseth that Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, is come in the flesh, is of Yahweh. And every spirit that confesseth not that Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, is come in the flesh, is not of Yahweh. And this is that spirit of Antichrist. Wherefore ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world. Ye are of Yahweh. Ye of Yahweh. Excuse me. Ye are of Yahweh. Little children have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Okay? This couldn't be even more clear than what, to who of those that understand it, But what it all boils down to is what we need to worry about is being able to stand against the wiles of the devil, because this is what's next. And like I said, like I was thinking to myself, I found it, funny that the Vatican will want to hold this press conference after that eclipse. Remember when I told you I made a video about what's going to happen after the eclipse. And now the Vatican comes out with this press conference dealing about apparitions, sightings and all, like spiritual sightings and supernatural phenomena. So this is what it all boils down to. Now for those of us that are in the know, we are in the know. We know what it is. But for those people that don't, oh man, they are in for a very, very frightening ride. Some people you can show these things to and they don't want to look at them anyway. They don't want to believe this kind of stuff. But this is what it is. Or rather, they look at it now or later, they're going to see it. And that's just what it all boils down to. That's all I got on this particular lesson. I hope you guys found this lesson edifying. And I hope I said something to stimulate your spiritual growth, my people. All praises to the Father Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. People, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.